Cancelled Roman Reigns match in WWE revealed reports. Hello guys. Welcome back to my channel. I am Jennifer. Have a nice day. For the WWE family latest news update, please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon. Roman Reigns boasts an impressive WrestleMania resume, featuring matches against several WWE legends. Not many people know that he seemingly came close to facing an Attitude Era icon in a blockbuster first-time-ever match. A recent report has provided details about cancelled plans for the original Tribal Chief. Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select learned that WWE reached out to Stone Cold Steve Austin a few years ago about facing Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 39. The idea didn't come to fruition for reasons still unknown. The OTC ended up successfully defending the undisputed WWE Championship against Cody Rhodes in 2023. However, there's no secret that a potential match with Steve Austin would have blown the roof off the stadium. The Texas Rattlesnake came out of retirement after 19 years to headline Night 1 of WrestleMania 38 with Kevin Owens in a no-holds-barred match. The 60-year-old stalwart emerged victorious that night. He has since made only one appearance for the company, a rather controversial one, showing up at the Showcase of the Immortals this year. Steve Austin previously underwent total knee replacement surgery and has shifted his focus to off-road racing. Despite not being active for over 3 years, he remains open to the idea of facing CM Punk. Will the dream match happen anytime soon? Only time will tell. WWE United States Champion Jacob Fatu has been a breakout star for the company since his arrival. He is very popular among fans and has finally embarked on a full-fledged singles run after kicking off a feud against his former tribal chief, Solo Sikoa, on SmackDown. Congratulations are in order, as Fatu has completed 1 year in the Stamford-based promotion today. June 21, 2025, marks the first anniversary of the Samoan Werewolf's spectacular debut in World Wrestling Entertainment. Upon his arrival, he combined forces with Sikoa and the Bloodline, terrorizing the entire division, especially Roman Reigns and the OG Bloodline. Fatu has enjoyed much success on SmackDown over the past year. He recently kicked off a new phase in his career as he turned on Solo Sikoa at Money in the Bank 2025, costing the street champion of the island a potential win. Solo Sikoa and the Samoan Werewolf's feud intensified on the latest episode of Friday Night SmackDown. They even got into a physical confrontation, where Fatu got outnumbered for a while when JC Mateo joined Sikoa to attack the United States champion. Surprisingly, Jimmy USO ran out to save Fatu, potentially laying the foundation for another Bloodline civil war. After Big Jim interfered, the Samoan Werewolf got the perfect opportunity to recover and take down the heel duo. Following the segment, Jacob Fatu announced that he will be defending his WWE United States Championship against Solo Sikoa at the 2025 Night of Champions. The event will emanate from Kingdom Arena in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, on June 28th. When the two powerhouses go up against each other, chaos is guaranteed. It will be interesting to see how the Fatu-Sikoa saga unfolds in the coming months and whether it eventually leads to a new Bloodline civil war. WWE superstar Roman Reigns has been absent since the first episode of Raw, after WrestleMania 41. The OTC was neutralized by Braun Breaker and sent away, while his nemesis, Seth Rollins, has now won the Money in the Bank contract for the second time in his career. Although the Tribal Chief is gunning for a comeback, there is a chance that his return to active programming will see him join forces with Lance anoa'i. The 33-year-old had signed a contract with WWE in the summer of 2024. With a pro wrestling experience of over 15 years, he could easily be the latest addition to either of the branches of the Bloodline. However, the creative team couldn't use him right away owing to injury. Right now, Seth Rollins has Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed backing him up in his faction. While the OTC already has the OG Bloodline on its side, its members are currently involved in their individual pursuits. Moreover, the Visionaries faction could reportedly see new members getting added to it, so a return alongside Lance anoa'i would help Reigns even the numbers to an extent. Roman Reigns could return with anoa'i at Night of Champions and likely try to prevent Seth Rollins from cashing in his Money in the Bank contract. While the Architect has almost always beaten the OTC throughout their rivalry, if Reigns manages to waste Rollins' MITB contract, it would be a big win for him. It will be interesting to see when the head of the table will return to WWE and if he will be able to stop the revolutionary. There is no update on when Roman Reigns will return. However, the OAC could make a comeback at Night of Champions, especially if Seth Rollins tries to use his MITB contract in Saudi Arabia. A few weeks ago on WWE Raw, the Visionary entered the arena and glared at John Cena and CM Punk while holding his Money in the Bank briefcase. Notably, the Architect made this move right after the two iconic rivals agreed to face each other for the Undisputed Championship at Night of Champions, showcasing that he is Mr. Money in the Bank and also has strong allies like Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. Rollins made a silent statement that he could use his MITB contract to win the Undisputed Championship. Keeping this in mind, the Architect could storm the main event of Night of Champions and gatecrash the John Cena vs. CM Punk match. He did the same at WrestleMania 31 with Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns in 2015 to win his first ever WWE World Heavyweight Championship. This time, however, the OTC could foil his plans and lay waste to his MITB advantage. It would be interesting to see what lies ahead for these former Shield brothers. Roman Reigns did not treat people kindly during his run as the undisputed WWE Universal Champion. However, a lot has changed since then, with the OTC now at a numerical disadvantage against Seth Rollins and his faction. While he may not have many allies in the back, there is still a name Reigns can depend on to take on Rollins' group. Roman Reigns formed the Bloodline shortly after winning the Universal Championship in 2020, with the first member of his dominant faction being Jey Uso. However, Jey joined the group against his will and had a pretty abusive relationship with Reigns for a long time. While the former World Heavyweight Champion did part ways with the OTC, they had a brief reunion last year to take on Solo Sikoa's Bloodline. Things have changed a lot in the meantime, with Roman Reigns now at odds with Seth Rollins, who is backed by Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, and has the guidance of Paul Heyman. The OTC will need a group of his own to take on the heel faction, for which he could convince Jey Uso to align with him once again. Jey also has unfinished business with Rollins and company, and could reunite with his cousin if the latter apologizes for his past actions. Fans loved the brief OG Bloodline reunion last year, and WWE has a chance to run the story once again. Many also had issues with Reigns not apologizing to Jey Uso, and this could be the perfect opportunity to give fans what they want. Roman Reigns formed one of the most dominating factions in WWE history, as the Bloodline once held both sets of tag team titles. The OTC himself had a historic world title reign, while the USOs also broke records with their tag team title run. However, things went downhill after Jimmy and Jey lost the tag titles to Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens at WrestleMania 39. The USOs soon turned on their cousin and left the faction. While Jimmy returned to the Bloodline after a few months, Jey moved to Raw and became a singles star. While Jey Uso has had a pretty solid run as a single star, an argument can be made that he was more dominant with Roman Reigns by his side. Now with both men at odds with Seth Rollins and his faction, maybe it's time they once again join forces. Last year, in 2024, The Rock made his shocking return to WWE ahead of WrestleMania 40. In a surprising turn of events, the Brahma Bull turned heel and joined forces with Roman Reigns to ignite a feud against Cody Rhodes. Making his in-ring return in over 8 years, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson tagged alongside Reigns to take on the team of Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes on the Night 1 main event of WrestleMania 40. However, returning to in-ring action in nearly a decade required severe training ahead of the bout. Popular NXT UK stars, Gallus, Joe Coffey, Mark Coffey, and Wolfgang were selected to train with Johnson ahead of the highly anticipated match. During a recent episode of the Refine It Up podcast, Joe Coffey opened up about the training sessions with Johnson and how he initially felt they were a prank.